This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto, and you know we love our all-Canadian matchups. And we got a good one tonight as the Senators are in town taking on the Canadians. And a few months into the season, I don't think we know what this Habs team is. They started off hot, looking like one of the best teams in hockey a month in. And then things all of a sudden fell apart, as they dropped 5 straight, but then rebounded and started to put together a nice little 3-game winning streak. And this reminds me of the notifications I've been getting about Bitcoin, like just up and down. I'm not even keeping score anymore, honestly. Well, things were looking good until they ran into the Avalanche on Saturday, who blew them out in Colorado. So are they good, bad, or something in between? We're honestly not too sure. But Montreal have a chance to show us what they're made of tonight with Ottawa in town, a team they've already beaten earlier this year, and I found great success against over the last 5 matchups. Now, in fairness to the Sens, their earlier meet in the season, they were without their captain, who loves to play the Habs. Brady Tkachuk has actually scored more goals against them than any other NHL team in his career. And if Brady has a big performance tonight against the Canadians, could it swing things back in Ottawa's favor? It would be a huge win for the Sens, as they're coming off back-to-back losses and are in desperate need of a win, as they currently find themselves out of a playoff spot. While there's still obviously a ton of season left, you don't want to dig yourself a hole that's too big to climb out of. And those of you in the Sens or Habs region can watch tonight's game on TSN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 8 Atlantic. Sticking on the ice, at the beginning of the season, this was a matchup everyone had circled on their calendar. And now, it's fair to say Leafs-Panthers has definitely lost some juice. But when these two teams are right, they're definitely cup contenders. But the thing is, neither has really been right all year. All it takes is one look at the Atlantic Division standings to see both Florida and Toronto are sitting in the basement and heading into their first meeting since that Game 7 blowout last playoffs. But did we have to remind you about that? Probably not. Both teams find themselves 4 points out of a playoff spot. And checking the FanDuel odds, the Leafs are actually pretty heavy favorites to miss the postseason, with the Panthers having similar odds only to make the playoffs, which okay, that's rude. For the Leafs to get going, they'll need to really hope that Austin Matthews is ready to start showing up, and there have been some promising signs that could be happening. In the 3 games since returning from injury, the Leafs are 2-1 with all 3 games being on the road, and Matthews had a goal and assist in that 7-2 beatdown of the Pen Saturday night, which honestly made me believe again. We also got an injury update on Brandon Carlo today, as head coach Craig Berube said earlier today he will, quote, need to get something done. And when a follow-up question came saying surgery, he responded, probably. Those of you in the Leafs region can watch tonight's game on TSN at 7 Eastern. And I think they're going to ride the momentum tonight, all right? They're going to take victory in their hands. Now joined by our gambling guy, Wes Chang. Great to see you, Wes.
Great to see you, Marissa.
Wes, the magic of the win streak is over, as the Raps followed it up with a 2-game losing streak. But looking at the regular season win total, which is now ballooned up to 46.5 on FanDuel, and the 2 missed playoff number is plus 260, is there any value on maybe shorting the Raptors?
Yeah, there's as much value betting that as betting one of these same-game parlays on the Bills that we get from producer Hein. Look, the reality is we knew this winning streak wasn't going to last forever. There are a lot of reasons that you should be able to put your trust into the Raptors. For me, what jumps out? Their clutch time data. They were 10-22 last year in close games. They're 7-3 this season. Love seeing that flip. I also think their bench depth is real, especially when you compare that to the other options in the East. And then there are some sustainable changes to how Darko's got this team playing. I love what they're doing in the fast break. I love the assist-to-turnover ratio data that we're seeing. I think all those things are sustainable now that we're a quarter of the season through.
I know, Wes, it's not a fun ask. I'm just here to ask the tough questions sometimes, okay? Finally, give us your best bet for tonight's game against Portland.
I like Scotty Barnes to score 20 or more points. I think he's going to be very important in getting the Raptors back on track after these last 2 losses. And then when you look at the opponent, Portland is supposed to be this defensive juggernaut coming into the season. They actually only have the 22nd ranked defense on the year, and some of their weaknesses really match up well with what Scotty does. They're the 3rd fastest in pace. They have the 4th highest foul rate. Both of those things align with Scotty's strengths. And then Scotty's also averaged 22.5 points per game since RJ went down 4 games ago. I think Scotty's going to play with some force, do all the things that you need him to do as a leader on offense, get this Raptors team back on track.
Wes Chang, a pleasure as always.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You can watch the Blazers and Raptors tonight on TSN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Time now for my favorite segment and yours that we love sports today.
Why we love sports today.
As I look outside and see the snow falling in southern Ontario and having to drive in it to get to the office today, it makes me reflect back on days in the playground playing games like this. They're only missing the snow. His caption is one of the greatest moments of my life, and I get that, okay? Being king of the hill for that long, oof, that's special. That's all from me today with Super Pick and Roll 3 Eastern, no Pacific. Have a good one.